Think about the last time you liked someone, really liked someone. That feeling in your chest when they walked into a room, that stupid smile you couldn't control. You probably called it love, but here's what nobody tells you. That feeling is not romantic. It is a 300,000-year-old survival alarm, designed not to make you happy, but to keep you alive. And the way ancient humans fell in love is nothing like what you've been told.
Here's the problem with understanding ancient love. We keep projecting modern emotions onto ancient people. We imagine them feeling what we feel, just with worse hygiene and no Netflix. That's not how it worked. For most of human prehistory, there was no word for love, no concept of romance, no social script for how attraction was supposed to unfold. Just a feeling, unnamed, unexplained, happening inside a body that didn't know what to do with it. Anthropologists who study modern hunter-gatherer societies, the closest living mirror to our ancient ancestors, have found something fascinating. In these groups, love exists powerfully, undeniably, but it doesn't look like anything we see in movies. It looks like choosing to walk beside someone on a hunt, saving the best portion of meat and placing it in front of one specific person, staying awake a little longer at night to make sure they're still breathing. Small things, quiet things, things that required no words because words hadn't been invented to carry them yet.
Modern humans think attraction is about appearance. We're wrong. Or we're only partially right. In a prehistoric landscape, yes, physical signals mattered, but not the ones we think. Researchers studying evolutionary psychology have identified what early humans were actually scanning for, unconsciously, in fractions of a second, when they looked at another person, not beauty, fitness. Symmetrical features signaled healthy genes, no serious developmental disruptions. Clear skin signaled no active infection, safe to be near. Physical strength and coordination signaled survival capability. This person can hunt, can carry, can protect. In women, certain body proportions signaled reproductive health. In men, height and muscle mass signaled ability to provide and defend. None of this was conscious. None of this was a decision. It was the body running a survival calculation, faster than any thought could form, and delivering the result as a feeling. I want to be near this person. That feeling, that pull, that thing you call attraction, is your ancient biology doing its job, exactly as designed.
But attraction was never simple, because in a group of 20 to 50 people, everyone could see everyone, all the time, which meant competition was constant, visible, and sometimes violent. Male competition for desirable partners in early human groups was not subtle. Archaeological evidence shows patterns of healed injuries on male skeletal remains, consistent with interpersonal conflict, fighting over mates. But here's what's fascinating. Physical dominance was never the only strategy, and often not even the most effective one. Researchers studying chimpanzees, our closest relatives, found that the males who attracted the most female attention were not always the biggest or strongest. They were the most generous, the ones who shared food, who groomed others, who built alliances, who made themselves socially indispensable. Early human males almost certainly operated the same way. The best hunter who shared his kill generously was more attractive than the strongest male who kept everything for himself. Because in a world where survival depended on the group, a partner who strengthened your social position was worth more than a partner who was simply physically impressive. Generosity was the original romantic gesture. Here's another assumption modern people make, that ancient humans chose their partners freely. Sometimes they did. Often they didn't. In small groups of 20 to 50 people, the social politics around pairing were complex, constant, and carefully managed. Older members of the group, those with experience and status, had significant influence over who paired with whom, not because they were cruel, but because pair bonds affected the entire group's survival. A strong pair, two capable, compatible people, produced children who survived, contributed to hunts and gathering, strengthened the group's overall resilience. A weak or unstable pair created conflict, distraction, and division that in harsh conditions could get people killed.
Pair bonding in early human groups wasn't purely personal. It was, in the deepest sense, political. And yet, despite all of this social management, despite the watchful eyes of the entire group, people still found ways to choose, to signal, to connect, quietly, at the edge of the firelight, in moments stolen from the group's constant collective awareness, because that pull, that ancient biological alarm, doesn't care about social politics. It never did.
Here's the part of ancient love nobody talks about. It hurt. Exactly the way it hurts now. Jealousy is one of the oldest human emotions in the archaeological and anthropological record. Researchers studying every known human culture, every society ever documented, have found jealousy present, without exception. Which means jealousy is not cultural, it is not learned, it is biological. Built into the human emotional system, because in a world where pair bonds meant survival, losing a partner to someone else was not just heartbreak, it was a genuine threat to your ability to survive and reproduce. The pain of rejection, the agony of watching someone you wanted choose someone else, those feelings existed 300,000 years ago, in bodies sitting around fires, with no language to describe what they were experiencing, and no Instagram to distract themselves with. Just the feeling. Raw, unmediated, inescapable. And here's the thought that changes everything. The heartbreak you felt in your life, the specific physical chest cavity pain of losing someone, is the exact same signal that ancient human felt sitting at the edge of a fire, watching the person they wanted choose someone else. Nothing has changed. Not one thing.
Modern relationships end for thousands of reasons. Ancient pair bonds, once formed, were held together by something far more powerful than feeling: necessity. In a prehistoric world, a lone adult was a vulnerable adult. Two people together could do things one person couldn't. One hunts, one tends the fire. One gathers, one watches the children. One sleeps, one keeps watch through the dark hours. The pair bond wasn't just emotional, it was a practical survival unit, a practical alliance between two people who had decided, consciously or not, that their odds of surviving were better together than apart. And yet, within that practical alliance, something else grew. Researchers studying long-term pair bonds in hunter-gatherer societies have documented what can only be described as profound attachment. Grief responses when a partner dies that mirror clinical descriptions of major depression, behavioral changes, loss of appetite, withdrawal from the group. The body responding to the loss of a partner the way it responds to a physical wound. Because to the ancient brain, it was one. The person you chose and who chose you back became part of your survival system. Losing them was losing part of your ability to live.
Somewhere, right now, someone is falling in love. They don't know it yet. They just know they keep thinking about one specific person, keep finding reasons to be in the same space, keep noticing things about them that nobody else seems to notice. That experience feels uniquely modern, uniquely personal, uniquely theirs. It is 300,000 years old. Every part of it. The pull, the nervousness, the jealousy, the joy. The way time moves differently when they're near. The way the chest tightens when they're not. Ancient humans felt every single one of those things, around fires, in languages that hadn't formed yet, in bodies that had no framework for what was happening to them. And they chose each other anyway, without romantic comedies to show them how, without love songs to name what they felt, without any cultural script at all. Just a feeling, and a choice, and the terrifying, beautiful act of moving toward another person, and hoping they moved toward you too. That is what love was, 300,000 years ago. That is what love is, right now. Nothing, not one single thing, has changed.